Good day and welcome to Naija Anchor News. Here are today's international top stories shaking the world. US destroy Iran's nuclear site. In a bold and controversial move, the United States military has launched a series of airstrikes targeting key Iranian nuclear facilities, according to reliable sources. The strikes were aimed at halting Iran's nuclear capabilities.
Well, it happened at midnight. While the world was sleeping, President Trump gave the green light. American bombers armed with bunker busters built for one job, they were already in the sky. Their target? Iran's last nuclear stronghold. But why? Because hours earlier, Iran spat in Trump's face. They didn't just reject his call for peace. They issued a threat that crossed every red line. We will never surrender is what they said. If the U.S. interferes, there will be irreparable damage. And with those very words, the final insult was delivered. What followed, though, was one of the most decisive moves by a U.S. president in modern history. Not a tweet, not a warning, a direct military response. The Fordow facility, once buried deep beneath the mountains of Iran, is now on fire. So, of course, today, I'm going to walk you guys through what really happened inside that White House Situation Room, how President Trump's intel team tracked the supreme leader's exact location, and why Israeli generals are calling this the turning point of the entire war. Also, what did President Trump say just before ordering the strike, and what did he hold back? Why did Iran dare him knowing that U.S. bombers were airborne? And what is this mysterious surprise for the world that Iranian state media says is still coming? Well, of course, I'm going to break down all of those details in this video. Every leaked quote, every missile launch, every defiant moment, and why it matters not just for Israel, for Iran, but for you, for your family, and for the future of global power, guys. It was a historic message sent from Washington to Tehran and really any other nation who's still underestimating Donald J. Trump. So just hours before the first bombers even entered Iranian airspace, President Trump issued one final chance for peace. It was a demand that was very simple, it was brutal, and it was non-negotiable. Surrender unconditionally now, or we end this ourselves. Iran didn't flinch. In fact, they doubled down. The Supreme Leader's office released a chilling statement saying, "We will never surrender. If the United States intervenes, the consequences will be irreversible." And just like that, the diplomatic clock hit zero. And it wasn't just a rejection, it was a slap. It was an insult that frankly made war feel inevitable. But they didn't even stop there. Almost immediately, satellite intel confirmed movement of Iranian missile launchers. Their aim? U.S. bases in Iraq, Syria, and the Persian Gulf. And while Trump was still deliberating with military brass in the Situation Room, Iran launched a wave of missiles at central Israel directly targeting Tel Aviv. Israel's Iron Dome intercepted most of them, but some got through, shaking buildings and rattling nerves. Iran was no longer bluffing. They just weren't just rejecting peace, they were also daring the United States to act.
Trump confirms very successful operation. The US President Donald Trump confirmed that American forces carried out what he described as very successful strike. He stated that the mission was executed with precision and has significantly degraded Iran's nuclear infrastructure.
Very much. A short time ago, the U.S. military carried out massive precision strikes on the three key nuclear facilities in the Iranian regime: Fordow, Natanz, and Esfahan. Everybody heard those names for years as they built this horribly destructive enterprise. Our objective was the destruction of Iran's nuclear enrichment capacity and a stop to the nuclear threat posed by the world's #1 state sponsor of terror. Tonight, I can report to the world that the strikes were a spectacular military success. Iran's key nuclear enrichment facilities have been completely and totally obliterated. Iran, the bully of the Middle East, must now make peace. If they do not, future attacks will be far greater and a lot easier. For 40 years, Iran has been saying death to America, death to Israel. They have been killing our people, blowing off their arms, blowing off their legs with roadside bombs. That was their specialty. We lost over 1,000 people and hundreds of thousands throughout the Middle East and around the world have died as a direct result of their hate. In particular, so many were killed by their general, Qasem Soleimani. I decided a long time ago that I would not let this happen. It will not continue. I want to thank and congratulate Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu. We worked as a team like perhaps no team has ever worked before. And we've gone a long way to erasing this horrible threat to Israel. I want to thank the Israeli military for the wonderful job they've done. And most importantly, I want to congratulate the great American patriots who flew those magnificent machines tonight, and all of the United States military on an operation the likes of which the world has not seen in many, many decades. Hopefully, we will no longer need their services in this capacity. I hope that's so. I also want to congratulate the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Dan Raisin-Kane, spectacular general, and all of the brilliant military minds involved in this attack. With all of that being said, this cannot continue. There will be either peace or there will be tragedy for Iran far greater than we have witnessed over the last 8 days. Remember, there are many targets left. Tonight's was the most difficult of them all, by far, and perhaps the most lethal. But if peace does not come quickly, we will go after those other targets with precision, speed, and skill. Most of them can be taken out in a matter of minutes. There's no military in the world that could have done what we did tonight, not even close. There has never been a military that could do what took place just a little while ago. Tomorrow, General Kane, Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth will have a press conference at 8 a.m. at the Pentagon. And I want to just thank everybody, and in particular, God. I want to just say we love you, God, and we love our great military. Protect them. God bless the Middle East. God bless Israel. And God bless America. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Iran reacts to U.S. nuclear strike. In a swift response, Iran's foreign minister, Saeed Abbas, strongly condemned the airstrike, calling them an unprovoked act of aggression and a violation of international law.
We will give the same response to the United States as we have gave to Israel. We will respond strongly, and we will stop aggression from any side, be it Israel or the United States. And we have given message to the United States that we will respond very firmly and we will stop the aggression by anybody, including the United States.
The situation remained tense as the international community urged restraint and diplomatic resolution. That wraps up today's International Daily Recap on Naija Anchor News. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Stay informed on the biggest stories from Nigeria and around the world. Stay tuned to Naija Anchor News for more news updates.